Most people that work have their employer contribute to their super fund every month. And as we cannot access that fund until we retire, most people don't really bother looking at how to increase the performance of their fund. Recently, I had a chance to look at one of my employees' super fund, and I found that the return is actually less than 5% after fees. The super fund cannot actually fund their retirement. So it's important to pick the right fund. Is it possible to get 10% return? Now, what difference would it make if you have 5% and versus 10% return? There's a thing called the compound interest calculator at this website here. So if you have a look, say for example, you have 5% annual increase, 30 years till you retire, a monthly contribution by your employer. That's the amount based on the average Australian income. And if you calculate that, it comes to about $500,000 at retirement. This is what it looks like. The green is your contribution. The orange is the growth. Your money working for you. Obviously, people might say, oh, well, $500,000 in 30 years' time is not worth a lot. That's not true in this case, because this is actually based on today's amount of your salary, because we haven't included inflation into this. If you add inflation, say at 2%, then you find that the amount is $737 when you retire. Because what happened is this amount does increase with time through inflation. So let's take the inflation part out of it and just work on today's value. So we know that 5% we get about 586. Now what if we have 10% a year? What would that do to our retirement fund? We can see that it's now 1.593, so it's $1 million extra. Okay, what if we can get to 20%? That's 16 million. That's a lot of difference. So if you have a look here, it's gone up quite a lot there. So is 20% achievable? Is it achievable at all? Actually, my son worked at Queensland government and he has a QSuper. So I decided to look at his fund. This is QSuper fund. So if you have a look at this fund here, under investment, there's a tab called self-invest. Now, if you click that, you come down to all these different funds. Now, there's a couple of international funds, so it's important to choose which fund you want to allocate your money. So once you have your money in your QSuper, you can then allocate those funds to go into this different area. Now, it's important to choose which fund, because if you look at it, say for example, if you choose one of these fund here. Hang on. Okay, before we do that, let's look at the prerequisite. You need to have 20,000 in your super fund. You need to have a minimum of 10,000 to keep in your other QSuper investment option. And every time you transfer to this self-invest transactional account, it's a minimum of 5,000. So if you look at one of the fund, this one here looks pretty good. The 100 largest company by market caps traded on the London Stock Exchange. If you have a look here, performance since inception, negative 14.73%. 5 year per annum, this is after fees, negative 0.25%. This is bad, isn't it? That is bad. But if you look at a fund like this one here, NDQ, which is Nasdaq 100. Okay, so if you have a look at NDQ, those are the companies here. We see Apple at 13.2%, Amazon, these are all American company. The Nasdaq is mainly tech heavy, So none of the banking stock, which is great because the banks are suffering at the moment with a lot of people who cannot pay their mortgage. You got Microsoft, you got Facebook, Alphabet, Tesla, another Alphabet, Nvidia, Netflix, Adobe. So a lot of these are pandemic-proof stock. 1 year performance, 39.58%. 3 years at 28.79%. Since inception, 21.79%. So the performance is amazing. You can get 21%. Is there a difference between this and S&P? So if you have a look, which is better? S&P is the top 500 company in US. The Nasdaq 100 is only the top 100 company, which are not the more the technology-based company, which is good. Yeah, especially during this uncertain time, because there are a lot of them are stay-at-home company. You can actually work at home. So it outperformed S&P. The only two exceptions is the 2008 and 2016. So if you look at the return, Nasdaq 20.3%, 5-year rolling return, and S&P 15.7%. So this is the company that you want to invest in. So when you look at this fund here, this QSuper, you can actually choose to select this one. It's interesting how they distribute it by market caps of the company. So as you know, Amazon is the largest, 13.16%. Amazon, 10%. Now, Tesla is even in there, 3.4%. This Nasdaq index is actually engineered to actually outperform the market. Reason being, as the company get bigger and more profitable, it actually move up this ranking, this percentage weighting actually increases. As these companies, if they don't perform as well, they get down the list and then eventually get dropped off. So the system is designed to pick only the top performing company. So if you have a look at, say, this year, 2020, Dexcom replaced American Airline Group. Zoom replaced Will Tower Watson. DocuSign replaced United Airlines. Moderna, which is a vaccine company, it's replacing this one. So you're finding that the airline stock is getting taken out of this list, replaced by things like Zoom, DocuSign, which are more online, which are more recession-proof type industry. So that's why you can see that this index actually will outperform the general market or economy as a whole. So you're really letting your super work very, very hard for you. And there is a big difference, when you retire with 16 million versus 1.5 million. And the thing is, this is at today's value, because not counting into inflation. And obviously, if you're transferring from another fund, you could actually start with an initial balance here as well, and obviously you can contribute into the fund as well. So I've only just looked at this fund, this QSuper fund. I've got nothing, no financial interest, or I'm not a financial advisor. This is all for entertainment purpose, a bit of research. If you know any other fund that can perform better than this Nasdaq 100, let me know. Put down in the comment below. I would love to know. It is important for us to have enough when we retire. So if you find this video useful, please like or subscribe or share among your friends. I hope that all of us can retire sufficiently with enough fun in our super. Thank you.